Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today I'm going to recap this past Saturday's UFC 221, in which the main event was Rockhold versus Yoel Romero for the interim middleweight title. We also had Blaydes versus Mark Hunt in a heavyweight feature, and because those are the two fights that I did in the preview video, I'm only going to cover those two fights. Now, this card had a lot of people that had stellar performances, and they weren't household names. These are the people that you want to see on the come up as the future of the sport to keep your eyes on. So if you haven't seen the undercard fights, check those out. They were pretty entertaining. For me, there wasn't really any performances that made me say, hey, I want to see this guy again. That's my personal, preference. But we probably will be seeing a lot of those names in the octagon in the future, and hopefully they can become the future of the sport of mixed martial arts. So into the co-main event, we had Blaydes on a very nice long win streak going against Mark Hunt, who's lost his past few fights. He's coming off a win against Derek Lewis, however. And I picked Blaydes to win because I thought that Mark Hunt has pretty much gone the route of Dan Henderson, where he is a consummate mixed martial artist and he can do several things in the cage, but he has begun to just rely on his one-punch knockout power. And against a guy as well-rounded as Blaydes, who can take you down if he gets in trouble, can take you down if he just feels like taking you down, and has a little bit of striking, he was going to be able to secure a decision, barring he didn't get knocked out. So score one for the chin of Blaydes, because this man has now faced both Francis Ngannou and Mark Hunt in the octagon and has not been knocked out cold. If you have seen the highlights of both Mark Hunt and Francis Ngannou, most guys, with the exception of the top tier fighters, have been knocked out in one punch by these two heavyweight behemoths. Blaydes was able to take Mark Hunt's power and weather that storm, and then have the wherewithal to get on his game plan and start to execute it so he can be the most effective to win the fight. So big shout out to him in doing that. One of the things I did notice is that when he was throwing his right hand, this is Blaydes, he was not putting his hip behind it. And that was actually working to Mark Hunt's advantage, because he was able to just stay where he was, and Blaydes was overreaching with the right hand because he wasn't getting that proper extension on it, even though he was landing his jab. So because of that, he begins to inch closer, and once he got into Hunt's range, Hunt, throwing that overhand, putting his hip behind it, was able to put some serious hurt on Blaydes. And that was the tactical mistake that he was making that I haven't seen in any other videos, even from seasoned MMA pros and experts that have been talking about this fight. So Blaydes was able to secure takedowns, and the remarkable part is, in the first two rounds, he successfully completed about 4 takedowns. So that's 2 in the first round, 2 in the second round. In the third and final round, he got 6 takedowns and completely nullified Mark Hunt's offense. That shows to Blaydes' conditioning, his wrestling pedigree. This guy was a junior college national champion, and to be the best at any level takes a lot of dedication, takes a lot of preparation, and takes a high amount of skill. So even if he's not an NCAA Division I champ, to be a junior college champ is still a tremendous achievement, and is showing in his ability to take guys down at will in the octagon. So we'll see what happens next for him. The heavyweight division, there's not a lot of, especially young, fresh names. A lot of the guys are on their way out, legends. And then you have Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier, who's moving up, but we don't know what he's going to do after their fight. So it's going to be interesting to see where Blaydes can go. Maybe he gets a rematch with Francis. Maybe he gets a Verdum or an Overeem or somebody like that. But like I said, we'll see. And then we got Cain Velasquez trying to come back as well. Let's go into the main event. Now, when I did my preview video, it was before the weigh-ins. And at the weigh-ins, Yoel Romero missed weight by several pounds. So he was disqualified from winning the middleweight title. Now, in my preview video, I also talked about the underrated grappling ability of Luke Rockhold. And I thought that he would use that to tire Romero out and get a decision victory from wearing him down. I did think if it was going to be a stoppage, I thought Romero would get it in the first 2 rounds. And if you've watched the fight, that assessment was totally wrong. Now, I wouldn't say it was actually wrong. It was that Luke Rockhold actually did not employ any grappling at all with Romero. And Romero, being an excellent explosive striker, which we talked about in the preview video, was happy to oblige. Rockhold pumped his jab. He landed it with good proficiency. He looked good, but we did talk about his deficiency of being able to defend against the left hand. It turned out to be his Achilles heel once again, because he misjudged the distance of Romero. Romero did a good job of disguising his level changes with his strikes. And when he wanted to charge Rockhold, and he started punching at Rockhold's thigh just to get his hands down a little bit lower. Just enough for when he rushed him, he was not in a position to defend. So in that 3rd round, he's pressing him against the cage, pressing him to the cage. Because he saw early on in the 2nd round, he rushed him from probably about the middle of the cage, or when his back was closer to the cage than Rockhold's. And he was able to land a few punches, but Rockhold was able to weather that storm and get out of the way before Romero could land any punch of consequence. So he made that adjustment. He pushed Rockhold to the cage, exploded like he can do, and was able to knock him down, and then landed the vicious uppercut on the ground that finished the fight. So because Romero missed weight, he is now not the interim middleweight champion, which is kind of poetic justice, because most of us are very weary of the whole interim title that they've been throwing around for all these divisions when the champs are clogging up the division. Now, in Whitaker's case, he has a genuine reason why he's not defending the belt. The man is very sick, and he needs medical attention for a staph infection that he got that really got out of hand. So we have to, all our best wishes to him that he recovers fully and is able to defend that title, either in a rematch with Romero or against whoever they choose to be the #1 contender. Romero, if I'm him, I'm pushing for that title shot, pushing for that rematch, and this time I'm making weight so I can have a better chance of winning and getting the belt. That's what you dream of doing when you take up the sport. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to recap it real quick, give you the little tidbits of information that I saw. Let me know what you think about the fights. Hit us up in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. You can catch all of our boxing and MMA previews and recaps. You can catch our technical toolbox videos. Rob has some videos coming out later on today for our some of our boxing events. I did 2 fights. He did another 2 fights. So check those out. All of our social media links are down below. So hit us up on those. Follow us on there. You know, give us any questions that you have. Hit us up. We'll put you in the combat mailbag. And we'll see you in the next video. Till then, fight on.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.